Yeah, man. So I had to just tell her straight out. It's like I'm not afraid to fight a woman, and I will
What?
punch you right in your face. And that was the last time my grandma pinched my cheeks. And
she,
that was
she,
Christmas. Yeah, coming
that,
up.
that
I mean,
was that a
uh,
Christmas everybody will never forget.
yeah, it was kind of bummed because that was the last time I talked to my grandma.
Yeah,
But it is what I'm just kidding.
it's like
It's
I
fine.
told her, Listen, I ain't going to jail for you or anybody." He says, "Yeah."
Oh man. Well,
Woo! What a start!
well, we were talking about weird stuff when we were doing this, so
It's
that's
Christmas,
fine.
man. We were talking about funny Christmas stories, and then of course there's tons of skits, Christmas skits that we were talking about. So
A lot of
tis the
Christmas
season,
skits.
Yeah,
Tis the
yeah, yeah,
season.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is welcome to another episode of the Nissan Nerd Podcast. This is a big one for us. This is our final episode, right, for
Of 20,
2023,
yes, it
and
is.
this is a combination of a Christmas and a combination of New Year's, all kind of rolled into one, right, Mike? Is
Yep,
that what we're talking about?
that's absolutely right.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's
Yeah.
tell them what they won on this final episode for 2023 of Nissan Nerd Podcast, Mike.
That sounds good. All right, guys. On this episode, Nissan is renewing one of its many commitments to their community in Tennessee. Also, production issues of the new Z have been resolved, and we could be seeing more produced and on the streets in 2024. And lastly, this is, like you said, Miles, the last episode of 23. And we're going to be diving into holiday traditions that we've established with the podcast, as well as recapping what we've done and what Nissan has done over this past year. So, guys, this is the Nissan Nerd Podcast. Let's get into it. Woo!
Man, so
Mm,
we got to talk about all the things that, man, we got so much to kind of cover in this episode. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's a Christmas episode, right? We still got news, we still got all the fun stuff that we got to do, but we also got to talk about, like, I don't know, Christmas and
well,
New Year's and
Chris,
everything that happened this year. It's gonna be a groovy show, man.
there's a
So
lot going on, man. I mean, of course, I mean, the time for family, time for with friends, for those whose cars aren't being winterized in the garages and aren't the ones that aren't hibernating,
yeah,
who are lucky enough to not have their cars hibernate over the winter. There's going to be some, I'm sure, some cruises around town, up in the hills, hill
it's
country,
ultimate turbo weather. So yeah,
boost
if
weather.
you're is
Yeah,
that ultimate boost weather if you're into it right now. So yeah, but
I agree, man. Hey,
But
before we start, man, can I just say something that in the last week I've saw something on social media, like it was like on every page that I can think of, and it kind of raised a question, and I was going to share it with you,
okay,
which is a very notable graphic artist, digital artist, John Sibal. One
yeah,
word, John Sibal, right?
Jones Ball.
He,
Yeah.
I guess he's making a bunch of renderings. They look real, and
Dude,
many
all
wish.
his renderings, like his normal car renderings, are pretty off the chain. Like he's kind of a legend in that note.
Yes.
But what's funny is I guess I know what you're kind of going with is that once in a while he makes some pretty crazy digital renditions. And what did you find?
Well, the render that I found wasn't exactly a car, but like a product idea, and it sounded cool. I mean, a lot of people again they're sharing it because it seems to be all over my feed over the last week, which is just like when we were kids, car beds. Like not
Gotta
the
have car
twin
bed.
size. When we were a kid, it was what Little Tykes. Remember the brand Little Tykes? It was the always the C4 Corvette or whatever. But now it's like our favorite cars, Nissan Z and Skyline, but as like twin bed frames and things like that. So I actually have two, and I'll share them right now. This is the Skyline rendering. I'm assuming. What do you think? What size of bed do you think fits inside an actual
Well,
scale
if I'm gonna
Skyline?
say, I mean, traditionally they've been the little twin beds, but I mean, if you went through all that trouble to chop up a skyline, and to get a significant other into that bed, guess what, man? You need the space for the party. You know what I mean? Like you
Y-
took all that time to get them into that bed. I'm just
yeah.
saying you might need a little more room for the party that's intended. I don't know. Just saying.
So there was
Oh,
two
see,
of them
there
that
you
we
are.
saw
There
here.
you
See,
are. That's it
this
right there.
one this one was a little this is a Z31
What?
300ZX
This
because
is Z32, son.
but look at the door handles. Door handles to me say Z31.
There's things that are
Again,
off.
that's
But
what
guess
makes it a
what?
rendering. That's why we know it's not
It
real.
is. It's a rough ending, but I still think it's cool as hell. That's more 32 than anything else. I'm gonna say.
I do see that as well. The R32 was a little bit more accurate. And one of the questions I had though is like realistically, how feasible is this if
Oh,
this was
to
actually to
do
be
to chop
made?
up a car?
I mean, okay, let's say it's a salvage car. I don't know, man. Like would
I
first of
would
all,
totally
would you do
chop
it
up
to a
all
real
day
car?
long. Yeah, why not? I don't know about a. I don't. I don't think I would deprave anything, or deprave. I don't think I would destroy anything that's that anybody's gonna cry about. So it'd probably be like I don't know, like a 32, like a Z30, a 300ZX. I'd probably take like an old 2+2 that's just seen better days and just beat it and really just skin it
Yeah.
and then take the skin and then weld up and build a wood frame and then just put the skin around it. But man, that'd be so much sectioning and chopping. I mean, Jesus Christ, it might as well be a full on hot rod. You're gonna chop and do all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Well, that's what I was thinking about. Was just the feasibility, though. Aside from breaking hearts, if someone saw that you actually took, because
Whatever.
Skylines aren't cheap. I mean, Z's
There
aren't
we
getting
go.
any cheaper. So, I mean,
You
I
thought
think
you thought about this way too much.
I know. Well, that and then I'm thinking about weight. Okay, let's say you live in an apartment. Are you really going to put how many trips up the stairs are you going to make to put
Oh,
this thing
yeah.
together? I think if
That's
someone
heavy.
were to do it, though, it would need to be a
Yeah, well,
lightweight version.
all right. Well,
Fiberglass.
let's talk about the bigger problem. Now all your friends are going to stay the night at your house, and you don't want them to stay that much. And now they're like sleeping at your pad all the time. Or one of your buddies has one of those party night outs, and then he like, oh, I get to sleep in the race car bed, and then he puts a dent in the side of your door of your race car bed.
Do you file an
Ooh.
insurance claim at that
Yeah,
point?
do you get the PDR guy to come to your
Yeah.
house,
Hey, it's in the
fix
bed, dude.
the
I need you to do
dent,
some PDR to onto my door.
right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, I've seen that video before. I've seen that video
He's not.
before. You
Yeah,
can,
yeah, yeah. I ain't taking a step inside
yeah,
your house,
I'm
Mister.
here to take out your dents." Like, oh, just, come on, let's go, guys. Like, that's pretty funny that you caught that.
Ah,
All right,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
man.
Anyway,
All
so
right.
rant's over though, man. I'm sure you saw it too, but it was fun. It's fun. I'm glad we got to talk
Mm.
about that for a second though.
Which one did you take? The 32 or the Skyline or the 300?
So because I don't see as much contradiction in the Skyline bed frame. So for
Oh, okay.
accuracy, I would take the Skyline. Surprisingly.
Mm,
Meanwhile, if I thought that Z was a little bit more, I mean, had the accurate door handles and something about that body
oh my
kit looks a little
God.
too non Z32 ish, but it probably is. But
But again, it's a
yeah,
rendering. I'm sure he
the
could edit it.
rendering.
But dude, that's pretty sick. So, all right, enough
Mm.
about beds and twin beds. And would you get a last one? Would you get a CB radio so you could talk to other car beds?
CB radio?
Yeah, that's
That
it.
would be funny. That'd be
And you
pretty
got to
funny.
think of a handle. I mean, we could talk about this all night long. All right,
We could.
let's go.
We
We're
could.
gonna drop it. All right, we're
Yes.
done.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Yes. So. Oh man. Yeah. Aside from that, though, man, I know we just spent a few days ago. We had the local car club had its holiday dinner, had a great time, had a lot of good times with friends. I know before that you came over and helped me out. We put the final touches on the engine bay. Paintwork in the engine bay is
yeah, yeah.
done.
On your right-hand drive 300ZX that we've originally was going to be like a 1 month turnaround,
Oh yeah.
obviously turned into a much bigger situation. But we ended
Yes.
up like taking trimming the entire engine bay so we could talk to you in a paint. So now we laid the paint, we laid the clear.
Yes, we did.
You got a picture of that sucker?
I do. I do. I'll share
Oh,
this
nice.
for those that are checking out.
It came out
This
pretty good.
is the latest. Oh, for sure, man. So, um,
I
this.
like the fact that we still kept all the foil on it when we laid all the paint, so keep all that freshness on the brake master cylinder and everything on the lines. But it was
Well,
like super just get it done type of scenario, but it came out so good. Like,
man, and that.
No
you made a
fisheyes, no runs. Mm,
we did pretty damn good. The one thing I think that really set it off, and this is what we did that last time here, which is you suggested we do the urethane clear, the 2K
yeah. 2K urethane.
urethane clear. It's a
Mhm.
two-part aerosol, and I this is my first time using it, man, dude. It came out amazing.
For a rattle can job that, I mean, you can get this done yourself if you've got the time and the, dare I say, gumption to get it done. But
Yeah.
dude, I thought it came out pretty damn good. We didn't get rid of all the dents. We could have mudded over all that stuff and shaped it, but we
Mhm,
wanted it to be original. We wanted to see all the rivets and all the factory detail underneath the paint. So yeah, we just kind of took all the filler off of it, shaped it all, and then we laid down, God,
mhm,
primer. We built it up a little bit. We a high build primer, sanded that
mhm,
down. Then we laid the paint, and we did two hits, two paint sessions. Actually, three or four paint sections if you think about it. And then we did
mhm.
two hits of clear. So I mean, that's a thick
Yes,
amount of paint.
it is.
And the sealer. Yeah,
And just look at it. That's the reflection. I think the body was dry at that point. That's how nice that urethane clear lays on, and
yeah.
the shine. It's like a glass finish, man.
And so for those out there that want to kind of attempt this type of thing, it was actually all with cans. I mean, we did. You could probably get the same results with about 3 cans of primer, 3 cans of paint, and 3 cans of clear. If we had to go back and just make suggestions, just
Hmm.
that, and then get yourself a good amount of like wax and grease remover. Do it all. Put
Yep.
all the prep in it. I think we started everything with like Scotch Brite pads,
The
like
the red pads, red
The
scuff
red
pads. Yep.
pads, and then we
Yep.
hit everything with that to scuff. Yeah, and it was, I don't know, we didn't buy that much, but God, I mean, you could do it very cost effectively and just turn the car around. That's it. All came out pretty well, man. I'm happy
Oh,
for you. So
for sure,
now
man.
you got to put it all back together. So
Oh yeah, now it's my yeah. See now and that and then the masking tape. Since it's been longer than we expected, that masking tape's gonna be really dry and brittle. Guess how much
yeah,
time I'm gonna be spending trying to get that tape off
I don't.
of
You know
every
what?
little
I
thing.
don't feel
It's
bad for you at all.
don't
You know
don't.
what?
It's
You
yeah.
gotta you gotta paint an engine bay.
I
So
deserve it.
it's
Yeah,
tough. Yeah,
for
it's
waiting
tough.
so
I don't
long.
care. I don't care about your problems at that point. So
uh,
I'm
we,
glad you're
we
happy.
are
So
we are getting a lot of comments online, guys. By the way, for those that are with us, thank you for being with us, and we see you. We got a few guys here. Of course, our buddy JLE, Mr.
mhm.
Eastman, is saying, "Evening, boys. Good seeing you, sir. Hope you can
Dang.
stay with us here." We got Matt out of California. We hung out with him a few times. I think in Colorado and
Yeah.
a little further,
Jaylee's
man.
just fresh back from Japan. He did the Z Crazies tour up there, so he hit all of Japan. Those guys seem like they went everywhere this year, man. They hung out with all kinds of faces within Nissan community and had a blast. One of these days we're going, well, probably coming into the next year, we're going to unpack some pictures from JLE's tour. Maybe we'll have him on the show and we'll kind of talk about it. Or we'll figure out something. But you
That'd be
got to see
fun.
some of these photos and some of the
Amazing.
videos from that stuff because
I'm
it was
jealous, man. Yeah,
noteworthy, definitely for sure. So
very
kudos to
much
him
so.
for coming back.
Yeah.
Kudos again to Matt for being on with us tonight, as always. Thank you for always listening and always being supportive. We love you.
Brian Vela, of course, with Bob Sobey and their
Oh
two-time defending
yeah,
champions of
hell
the
yeah!
Optima Ultimate
Returning
Streetcar Challenge, saying
champions.
evening. Yes, sir. Thank you for being with us. And Matt did also ask, will the car be ready for ZCon? Well, that definitely is the plan. And before then, finger if things go to plan.
We'll
But
see. I'll push him, Matt. I'll put a fire underneath him. We'll try to get him out of here.
for sure, man. Well, man, honestly, again, you guys that are with us online, keep up the comments. Let's keep the interactions going. Let's have some fun tonight. Miles, do you want to do the honors with our tradition?
Oh yeah, with a
Yeah.
compi, not a problem.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the part where we salute. I want to see some drinks up in the air. It's the last one for the
Woo!
year, and this will be our standard compi. Salute to those in the Nissan family who we wish good health, and to those we may have lost either this year or in prior years. We want to give them a shout out as well, and may we be reminded of them often.
All right, guys, join us. Clink, kanpai. Yeah.
Mm.